Hello, trial and error tubers, and welcome back to continuing chapter 10 after like a week off. So if you're watching in the future, this is a completely different stream, and at the end of the last section of the recording video, we did some off-camera streaming where we just tested out the beginning of this chapter, and then I took a little break between that stream and now because Thracia is the kind of game where you can definitely get burned out. So, I'm going to give a little recap of the objectives here for the beginning of Chapter 10 and what my solution and suggestions are if you're playing along, just because that's kind of how I theme my videos. So, the hardest starter objective is to get to this village, and you really do want to get to this house in 3 turns before the thief gets there. If you can get there, you'll get a rescue staff, and rescue staves are really awesome, so that's a high priority. Of course, it's in range of ballista, 3 ballista, so you can't just put anyone there, and in fact, it's also in range of bolting. So you've got to be pretty careful who runs up that direction. It's not a guarantee that they can survive all those hits. Cav are better because a cavalry can visit and canto out of the way, and not get hit by the bolting. So that's one thing. You also need to get to this village in... how many turns is it? I think it's 4 turns for this one. It's 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 turns. You've got a little bit more time for this one, but also pretty important if you want to get the reward. The reward is also less valuable than the rescue staff, but, you know, you're trying to get all the goodies. But getting both of those villages is definitely a trick, and to further complicate it, basically to get here, unless you want to use your warp staff, you could just warp someone here on turn 1. That's definitely an option, but then you'd have to get them back. And honestly, it might be easier to use 1 warp charge on, you'd probably have to bring Safi. I don't think Nana has the rank for it right now. But if you had Safi with A rank staves and the warp staff, which we picked up a couple chapters back, where's Nana? Yeah, Nana's a long way off of that. Theoretically, you could warp someone here right away. They'd have to survive a turn of ballista, and then it would give us more time to try to capture the flame sword, which is the other thing we really kind of prioritize trying to pick up here. So the hard part is getting the flame sword and the rescue staff, and also making it down here in time. Keeping in mind that this Wyvern Knight, Draco Knight, that's the word, he'll come down this way and then fly over here and attack someone on their own if they're in this area. So you gotta be a little bit careful who you send to both sides. Now, my solution was hopefully going to be a promoted Maka. My Maka had a lot of constitution, probably more than you could expect. And if we promoted her, she'd actually have enough con to capture... She actually has enough right now. It's kind of funny. Oh, right. So, okay, complications. Yeah. First thing I need to explain. If you watched the last part of this chapter, our first attempt at chapter 10, this enemy knight, our armored sword, had different stats than what he has right now. So what we learned during the last stream was when you restart the chapter, like if you save at the beginning before you start the map, and then reset the game, you know, turn the console on and off, whatever, however you want to do it in your emulator or real console, all the characters, all the enemies with randomized stats will get re-rolled. And there's some ranges, so, I forget exactly what we learned, but his con went from between like 11 and 14 con. His defense went from like 10 to 13, speed 1 to like 4 or 1 to 5. There's probably like a 4 or 5 range in stats for most of his stats. So depending on how this guy rolls, you'll have a much more difficult time capturing him than other times. So sometimes you won't be able to double him, sometimes you'll have even more defense. Don't forget he's on a fort, so plus 10. So 20 defense is bad enough, but it could be like 23 or 24, which makes it harder. What we have here is a low, I think minimum defense, minimum con, maybe minimum speed. I can't remember if I've ever seen him with 0 speed. So this is one of the easier versions of capturing. And you can just try to get that by resetting over and over again. Of course, by doing that, like, you know, I'm pretty sure all of them get randomized, so we might end up with harder or easier other knights in other areas. You can see some of the random stats some of them will have if you care. But anyway, that's an important aspect to this strategy. You've got to make sure this guy is capturable by someone if you want to capture them. So with the minimum con, even without promoting Maka, we can try to capture him turn 1 with the Armor Slayer. Armor Slayer doing 30 base might, and then capturing, having her other stats, not her con though. So that's like one of my more reliable methods. If you had a Lithis, our thief, with, we didn't even deploy him, but if you had Lithis with, he'll be fast enough, but he'll need 10 Constitution or 10 build to steal it. That also works really well. In fact, that's possibly the easiest option, but it requires a lot of investment in Lithis. I think he starts with 6 base Constitution, and you need at least 10 to steal it. So if you promote him from Thief to Rogue, he'll get +1 from that, so theoretically his base is 7. So then you need 3 +1 Constitution level ups somehow. He has like, I think I looked it up, he's got a 10% base con growth, and you could throw on him a scroll that has another 10%, which I'm sure someone has if you want to remember. Can't just cycle through people in this game? That's rude. Other Fire Emblems let you cycle through your whole squad with L and R buttons. Get with the program, Thracia. I think it's the near scroll, which I guess maybe Karen has? Yeah. So, if you throw this on Lithis, it's plus 10% to con growth. That should put him at 20% con growth, which means, you know, every 10 levels, about 2 points in con, depending on your luck, of course. But theoretically, you could get him from base 6 to 10 with some good level ups and a promotion. So it's a little bit blessing, but you could steal it, and if you can, that's the easiest way to get the flame sword, I think, straight up. But failing that, we need to capture him. The best options are Armor Slayer on someone with, you know, enough con, or probably your brave weapons. Like Fergus could use the Armor Slayer, but his stats are kind of weaker than Maka's, and Finn with his Brave Lance is always a good option, but he basically needs a crit on the capture to get anywhere. So anyway, point is, I couldn't find with my current team a guaranteed way of doing it. I needed this guy to have lower stats, and it still came down to some lucky hits. And the reason you have to do this turn 1 is the only way to get to here before the thief is on turn 1 you need someone with either 10 movement, essentially a cavalry with 10 movement, which I technically have one option who got or it's actually 9, sorry. You need a +1 movement cavalry that got a movement up, level up, and they need to end their turn. I think either of these squares will work. Or you need a foot unit with 7 movement, which is generally promoted level, like 6 is your base, 7 is promoted, not for Maka, but for lots of people. For instance, Dagdar promoted, he's got 7 moves. So if he starts here, or if you can rescue drop him, which is difficult because he's kind of a big boy, you need to drop someone off in the forest, and then you've got 2 turns to get to the village. Like, the timing is really tight anyway. So I'll show off my theoretically best strategy I could come up with, and we'll see if this works for us. So I like to start with Nana here. Are we not? Oh, right, we're not actually in started. Sorry. I've been playing some other Fire Emblem games in my off time, so the buttons change between games. I think Path of Radiance has like A and B swapped. So we move Nana up because she gives some support bonuses, or charm bonuses. If there was someone who supported Maka, that would be very helpful, but they don't exist. And Nana already supports Finn, if I remember correctly, so, you know, we're gonna start with Finn, basically. But this is by far a guaranteed strat here. He can't do any damage unless he crits, and he would need 2 criticals out of 4 to actually capture. So this is nowhere near a guaranteed. This is like a pretty low odds play. And we actually got 0 for 4 there, so that's the problem, right? Like, no, not guaranteed. And then our backup strat was Maka, who was like, alright, I'm gonna use the Armor Slayer, and this is our last chance. She needs to hit twice at 77%. She doesn't need any crits, which is nice, but she doesn't have 100% or 99% accuracy, so you still need some RNG luck here. There's no guarantee she hits this. Now, if Finn had critical once, then she only would have needed to hit once, and it would have been a little bit more reliable. But anyway, that's how we get the Flame Sword. And then basically my solution was Fergus, who's got 1 level up. Like, if you didn't get the movement up, level up, it would be more difficult here. You'd have to do some more drops. But he can make it all the way over here right away. I gave him the Paragon Sword, so he's got some more defense from all the ballista fire. And he's just going to have to not die to the bolting. But because he's on a horse, he should be able to visit and canto back down, basically. And then other than that, the other strat was... We did some testing, so this was all done off camera, but we did some rescue math, basically. So, you know, you can carry an ally who has less constitution than your character, but you lose half of your movement if they weigh more than half of your con. So, you know, a 4 con, like, forget mounts for a second here. A 4 con character could carry a 3 con character, but their movement would be divided by 2. Simple enough. Now, the calculation sheet on Serene's Forest was saying the formula for that was con of rescuer divided by 2 has to be equal or greater than the recipient. So in a tie, you can still move your full speed. So if she has 4 constitution, she could rescue someone that weighed 2 and still move her max movement speed. But it said in the formula that for mounted units, it was con plus 5. But as far as I can tell from all the testing we did, that's not actually true. For mounted units, it's always counted as if their con was 20, and therefore they can move at full speed with any unit 10 con or less. And I didn't have anyone that was in the range of their base con being like higher than 15 to test out if maybe someone with 18 con plus 5 would let them carry someone that was like 11 con, but we don't have anyone that fits that, so I couldn't test it out. But we did a lot of testing, and like Karen can move at full speed with anyone who weighs 10 con or less, so that's what we learned. Which means Leaf is a pretty good option for moving him over to the left. Unfortunately, we couldn't use someone like Dagdar, who's nice and bulky, but too heavy to move at high speed. Anyway, so the solution here is just rescue. I'm not even really going to play these out. I'm just showing you the first couple moves because this is the strat that should work. And then I'll just use my checkpoint that I made for, you know, it's going to be the same thing, but it'll just save us a little bit of time. If you're really playing smartly, what you want to do is, you know, move Nana and stuff out of the way, because she dies. She should only be in range of 1 ballista where I put her, but you've got to pull everyone back out of range of the ballista. Or leave them on the fort. If you put them on the fort, they're also totally safe, basically. But, you know, there's a lot of ballista, they're jerks. The stats for the horses? That'd be good. Alright, so then, this is the southern strat. Remember, the reason we're doing this is the ballista will basically always one-shot Karen. You can't have her visit that one, especially because technically 3 ballistas are in range. So even if you dismounted her so she didn't have the weakness, she'd still die easily. Like, I read a guide somewhere that's like, oh, just dismount Karen and have her go to the village. I'm like, nah, she does not have anywhere near enough defense for that. You can dismount her and then she'll just get crushed. So you've got to do some sort of fly over and drop somebody and then get out of the way. If she has, if you've promoted her, she'll have, I think, 9 movement. You could maybe give her the leg ring and she'd have 10 or something, but it's still not enough to visit and get out of the way. You've got to drop someone and get out of the way. So if my math works out, we should be able to move these guys up. I'm just gonna move these people to safety, and we'll just watch the next 2 turns here, which should look pretty much straightforward now. Just to prove my strategy works. And also, there is one more complication that I didn't totally explain with the Draco Rider. So yeah, Leaf here, I probably shouldn't have left him with the light brand equipped, technically. You know, standard old Ankylo not thinking stuff through. You don't want to waste that. But yeah, this is why you pretty much need Fergus to have a Paragon Sword. I think you have to give him a I didn't mention it, of course, but you probably need him to have a Vulnerary as well, because if he gets hit a couple times, he's gonna need to heal. And you don't have physics. Well, you might have a physic, I guess. If you have a physic, you could use that instead. Is physic I can't remember if Physic is D rank or C rank, so Nana might have a hard time. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's 3 ballistas, so if he gets hit 3 out of 3, he still dies. Which would be very unfortunate here for my strategy of showcasing here. Oh no, he survives that. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. So if you're doing this strat, you definitely need the Paragon Sword. And you need a bulky enough person with 9 movement for this to work. That's youch. I'm glad I did the math last time, because I thought for a second there he was dead. And again, there's some RNG on the stats on the Ballisticians. They have random strength. So the fact that this Fergus with 30 HP and 6 base defense survived is not, you know, it's not guaranteed, because these guys could have had +1 strength and then he'd be dead. So, yeah, that's great. There might be some way of using Nana to try to lure some shots also, or somebody else. I do think there's probably some AI manipulation where they like to prioritize healers or lower defense units even if they can't kill them sometimes, but anyway, there's no guarantee. So the way this went down, actually, I can't visit this turn, because he definitely would die. So we're gonna have to sit on the house and hope we don't die to bolting, basically. We have to use this vulnerary. So there's still some chance of failure, technically. Also, we can test the AI of the thief. I'm not sure if he'll stand beside us or turn around. Meanwhile, Leaf is doing much better, so he's not in a problem. Like, he's making good time down here. We can get him to visit. I hope I showed this off last time, but I think this is the text anyway, you know. Libertarian Army, surprise for you. Gotta fancy myself a botanist, and a few months ago I started an experiment. I want to see what would happen if I watered a tree using only pure water. I won't keep you in suspense. Here's the staff. I cut the whole tree down and made 1 staff. Use it. It'll fortify your magic, same as if you just gulped pure water. Huh? Where's the rest of the tree? Oh, you're looking at it. The staff was the whole tree. Okay, I guess that's pretty sketchy. Poor thing never grew more than 3 feet tall. Turns out pure water is not very good for plants. Yeah, probably should have checked on that before I spent months. That'd be pretty expensive. Pure water's not cheap. This guy must be like the village millionaire. Probably should have checked on it before I spent months on the experiment. So, I guess if that's how you make ensorcel staffs, we did do this dialogue last time. I remember this one. This is just 2 more characters popping out to go say hi. They just sort of chase towards us. So, yeah, the ensorcel staff is like a 5-use pure water. So, that's pretty cool. And you can use it on an ally. I guess it's probably better than a pure water, because instead of spending a turn to drink it, someone can apply it to someone else, and then they run forward and cast magic or get into trouble. So, looks like it's kind of neat. I'm not sure, it's a little bit of a niche use, but it's, because magic is also resistant, that's more power for your casters and more defense for your anybody that's going to die to magic. So, it's definitely a neat item. Alright, let's just make sure that this works here. In theory, there shouldn't be any problems. So the thief turned around. Because I visited the south village and that thief couldn't get to the north village, he's like, whatever, I'm out of here. Alright, that's another... So, I think in this scenario, Fergus has been hit by 4 ballista out of 4 ballista, all at, you know, 50-60% range, which is a little unfortunate. If he gets hit, this time he's okay as long as he survives, because now he'll move south, use another vulnerary, and then he'll be back in safety after next turn. So I think I just need to show you guys surviving this turn, and it's pretty much cleared up, at least for Fergus. Oh, he has to visit, right. He can't use a vulnerary, because he has to actually visit the village. Not totally safe. But he got 1 dodge, 1 more dodge. It's still a little finicky, make no mistake. Oh, that guy shot Leaf. Okay, that's good, actually. Maybe I should leave Leaf there for a bit longer. Bolting, though? Yeah, this is the one that could be a problem. If we get hit here... Yeah, that would have sucked. Alright, Fergus, what you got for us? HP, strength, luck, defense, con. Very good level up, man. I'm gonna feel bad if I have to reset this. That's lovely level up. And that defense, that'll help him get out of here and survive. Alright, so 23 HP is not ideal, but I don't want to waste any more time, so visit. And this is the one that's hard to get. Nat or near, you folks are the Liberation Army, right? Well, you be sure to show the Empire some of the famous Thracian hospitality. Drive the lot of them out of our valley. Oh, and take this with you. I've been using it as a walking stick for years. Maybe it's enchanted. Maybe it'll help. And that's the valuable rescue staff, which we're just throwing in the convoy. But basically, you know, rescue's a pretty powerful ability, right? You guys understand. Alright, I'm gonna leave him in the forest for slightly higher percentages. And yeah, he's got one more turn where he needs to dodge 1 out of 3 ballistas. As long as he only gets hit twice, he'll be fine. He's no longer in bolting range. And the thieves have nowhere else to go, so now they're just gonna run away. Yeah, warp and rescue are both infinite range, and physic as well. This would be a good turn to physic him if I had that as an option. Where's unfortunately, physic is C rank, and we did not grind her enough. So that would be a good argument for getting your Nana to C rank, because if you could physic him from across the map right now, this would be a little bit more reliable. So, just something to think about if you're trying to prep for this chapter. Or bring Safi, who should have C rank by now, I think. Alright, the other thing we could have done, I forgot about it, but we could have had Karen ferry over Asvel last turn, because now this guy's here. The problem I had the first time this happened is I was like, well, technically the plan was for Leaf to move down and for Karen to rescue him and get back to here. But she couldn't drop him, and this guy actually kills Karen, you know, very easily. He's got Adept, he's got 9 movement, he's got technically a movement star, which is real bad, and you know, Silver Lance is pretty strong. So I can't really use Karen to rescue Leaf, in my opinion, so you kind of have to have Leaf, like, fight it out. I don't know what his best odds are. I didn't figure this part out very well, to be totally honest. I think his AI was dumb. When I tested it last time, I rescued Leaf and pulled him back, and this guy just didn't attack Nana at all. Or Karen at all. I don't know why, but this guy's in a, yeah, the Dvorak Knight, yeah, he's kind of a jerk. And I did forget once again that I meant to have Asvel over here, because what I was thinking was, I think Karen can survive 1 hit, especially if she's not carrying anybody. 24 defense, 10 attack speed. We can get her better attack speed. We can get her, if I put her with a Slim Lance, that'll get her 16 attack speed. So he's nowhere near doubling her, and he does 25 damage in 1 hit. 25 damage minus 5 is, so yeah, so she survives 1 hit as long as she's not doubled. If I switch her to Slim Lance, she'll have a -2 speed. If I was carrying Leaf, it would be 9, let me just, I think I got this. 9, like speed cut in half is 9, con stays at 4, -2 for the Slim Lance, puts her at 7, which is just enough not to get doubled, which means she can survive 1 hit. Super! So this strat works for 1 turn. As long as, oh, I didn't change her weapon. Well, she's dead. I guess I had to change her weapon before I picked Leaf up. That's pretty bad. So she's probably going to die, unfortunately, with this scenario. And I think what I needed was to have Asvel already over here, basically, so that this guy takes the bait, hits Karen, and then Asvel's, like, behind her, ready to zap him. Because Asvel with either the Wind Magic or the Wrath Caliber, or whatever it's called, Graph Caliber, will just destroy him. Other than that, you might be able to drop an Archer over there. But yeah, unfortunately, this was one of those bits of the strategy I didn't have a good answer for. So, she probably dies. It's very unfortunate. And also, Fergus can't get hit 3 out of 3, so let's see if that happens. Maybe everything falls apart. So far, so good. 45%. 45%. One more chance for Fergus to not get slaughtered. Oh, I guess that level up actually saved him, where he got the +1 defense. If he hadn't, he was dead. Nice, nice, Fergus. Also, leaving him in the forest with +1 defense. Like, that's the only reason he's not dead. So she needs to dodge, which she didn't. Okay, so my screw up. I should have changed her weapon. She would have survived 1 hit. And if she'd survived 1 hit, well, it should be pretty clear how this would have worked. I'll just show you what would have happened, and then we'll load. If Karen was alive with 1 HP, which still even that RNG stats maybe, what she would have been able to do is move back to here. We could have made a little protective circle around her and maybe just healed her. And, you know, then we could slay this guy from safety, but unfortunately I made a mistake. And honestly, this Dvorak guy is a big fat jerk, so... Anyway, point is, I already had a save ready to go where I didn't make that mistake, where instead, Karen safely returned Leaf to the rest of the squad with the Ensorcel, and Fergus has also returned, I think he just used a vulnerary next turn, same as what I would have done with 3 HP, and here's Dvorak. I think maybe she hit on the counter or something. Yeah, well, it really, any weapon except the Slim Lance would have done that. She would have had 9 speed carrying Leaf. Any weapon that weighed more than 2, well, more than 6, I guess. More than a -2 penalty would have been enough to get her doubled. So, yeah. The Javelin was extra bad because it's heavy, but anything else is not, like... There's only 1 weapon that's light enough for that to have worked. So, anyway, that was, one little mistake in an otherwise perfectly fine strategy. So, forget all that, and let's just play from here as if we got this, as if we did it properly. Now, I don't know for sure if Fergus got the same level up. I don't know if the RNG was set for the whole thing. It probably wasn't. So he may have ended up with, without getting that con up, defense up that we saw last time. So he might be slightly weaker. That's my punishment for forgetting to equip the Slim Lance. Okay, also, these guys are getting pretty close, Alfred and Olwyn. I didn't really talk about them a whole lot, but we don't have to worry about them for reasons you'll see very soon. They're chasing towards us and, you know, theoretically could attack us next turn, but don't worry about it. There is a couple ways you could try to steal the Bolt Sword off of him. You can't capture him, but if you had a fast thief or a bulky thief, you could theoretically steal it. It would be much more difficult to steal that one, but the Bolt Sword might be an option if you're greedy. Anyway, we're not getting all that stuff, so forget that. Now, let's go back to playing the game sensibly. We gotta finish off Dvorak. Maybe Fergus can just handle it? I don't think the Rapier does bonus damage. No, it definitely does not. Looks like this is not a great matchup. Just at initial glance, Dvorak only has 9 HP left, but we don't have anything that does enough damage on its own. So... Oh, right, and Maka, I did use the hero promotion item on her, so she's all promoted up now. She's looking pretty good. I could move her up and use a flame sword to kill him. Or... Nana could move up and earth sword him. Or... If you had a javelin, yeah. If I moved Callian up, you could throw a javelin at him, but that's not going to do very much damage. 6 might, that's only 15. I don't even... 3 damage is not going to kill him. If I believe hard enough. Yeah, maybe. I didn't really prepare to get going here. Like, this was the end of many trials where we got this checkpoint, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I guess Maka, we're just gonna flame sword him just to get rid of him. That'll be easy enough. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see what Maka's odds are. We got a brand new flame sword, so using a couple on the old one, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much as safe as it can be. Flame swords are really good, by the way. Like, this is why the main reason we put all this work into this chapter was to get an extra flame sword, an extra 40 uses of a really, really powerful weapon. So, there you go. Maka's looking real strong, real good. She got her promotion bonuses. Let's clean up this old armor knight guy, or armored sword guy that's just hanging out here. Someone should take his sword. It could be Fergus. I think Leaf has already got a light brand, but it's getting pretty close to breaking, so we could give it to him. I have heard some strats where you leave the flame sword on, like, Nana, assuming she's got the weapon rank for it. And then by having it equipped, while it's equipped, her magic is boosted, so she heals better and all that stuff. She's got boosted magic for healing while having the flame sword. So that's a pretty cool little trick too. Unfortunately, Asvel can't do that. That's not allowed. Yeah, I'll give it to Leaf for now. So what I'll do is I'll have Nana come in here, pick up the Ensorcel, do a little bit of healing. Gotta remember to hold the L button down so we don't watch every animation every time. And then get... We'll deal with the... Well, actually, Shiva's another one. Shiva's a good option for a flame sword because he doesn't have any range options at all. But he also has no inventory, so... That's a downside. Whatever, we'll deal with that next turn. The trouble is now... Well, other than Alwyn here, which we should cover first. I can delay no longer. Fort Dundrum must be warned of the invasion. General Largo, I'll return with every able-bodied soldier I can find. You have my word. See ya. See you later, thieves. See you later, mage knights and paladins, I guess, Fred. Is there no caravan? There's a convoy, but the only way to access it mid-battle is to go to the, well, I'll show you when we get to our turn again. There's a specific, it's like a vendor you have to go to access it. Leaf doesn't have access to it like more recent games. You've got to go take someone to the supply depot, and then you can access the convoy. Alright, let's pick up that flame sword and the extra vulnerary. Someone will have to take the bridge key. I don't know if I'll need it exactly, but you know, I don't want to lose it. At the very least we could sell it, right? Alright. So then there's some options here. If you're like, we could probably rush this ballista down fairly safety. Like you could go up here, fight these guys, and take out that ballista without just draining its charges. That's probably not too difficult to pull off. Or you set someone up who doesn't take very much damage, and it's a bit of a grind, but if they have the Paragon Sword, this sword won't lose any durability, and you will get double experience, which is like maybe 20 experience per dodge of the ballista. And you know, each of them has like 10 shots, so that's some XP if you want to grind it out. I think the other option that's sort of sensible is I believe anyone with the accost skill would have them shoot 2 ballistas in one turn, which is a little bit dangerous if you're not, you know, Dagdar level durability. But in theory, that would drain their ammunition a little quicker. Those are the kind of the 2 sensible strats I was thinking of. For now... Also, keeping in mind that they won't fire if they can do no damage. So 20 attack power, firing on a fort to someone with reasonable defense, or actually incredibly good defense, by the way, they can't even damage her, so she's got 25 defense, they won't even try. Dang, she is strong. Maka is so blessed in this run. She is real good. Maybe I should give her the leg ring. We've got a leg ring for +2 movement. She didn't get +1 movement when she promoted to hero, which was unfortunate. We can teach her some axes. if we want, but like, dang. Cap skill speed, 14 luck and strength, 15 defense, 14, like she is crazy powerful. Oh, it's all good there, Kaboom. Super Nintendo Fire Emblems are a little bit unique. Just a little. She could just, like, if you wanted to, I'm pretty sure she could just handle this all herself. Like, well, I'm gonna try to play it safe. I'm gonna assume that if you're playing along, you might not have a 15 defense hero Maka, because, boy, that's good. So let's showcase my strat for a second. So, Fergus with 11 defense, +1 or +2 in the forest, should be able to take 2, like he can lure out some of these ballista shots. Oh, thanks, Fergus. That's, I should have just run him up here. He could have killed this guy and moved up here in a single turn. That would have been nice. And you could also boost your stats here a little bit. Well, not in this scenario, but you could have someone in support range, and that would give him a bit more avoid, and that would help protect him. Oh, it is important to note that the person you sent up here to get the rescue staff, the bolting hit, probably needs a scroll, and I did do that, I just forgot to mention it out loud, but the scroll was an important part of that. Otherwise, the critical could have killed him. Okay, we're gonna start moving people into position here a little bit more, because I haven't done much of this up to this point. I would like to get some use out of Shiva. I'm probably going to do a little bit of arena time on this chapter for a couple people. I guess that's one thing to point out. In between recording play sessions, I did do some, like, I have a second campaign where I'm like testing stuff out a little bit on the side, and I did some like arena battles with people. I kind of think Thracia arenas are like some of the most generous arenas in any Fire Emblem game, because you can have your scrolls equipped, and the scrolls mean if you send someone to the arena, they're immune to the crits. You can get support bonuses in the arena, plus charm bonuses, plus you get the 1 defense, 10% avoid from the tile. You can actually keep your characters pretty reliable in there, specifically the fast characters. The win rates is really high, and because you can stack scrolls, just give someone all the good scrolls, you can have up to like 7 scrolls of stat power. You can gain really good level ups that are pretty safe. Like, it's never 100% safe, but compared to some Fire Emblem games, it seems like arenas are pretty chill. So this is, unfortunately, probably the classic strategy for Thracia Ballista, is you have someone just drain their ammo. It's a little bit slow. Arena is easy to cheese in other games. Depends on the game. Generally, the games with hard modes bump up the arenas enough that unless you're cheating with save states, they actually, what would I say? They actually lose you money. Like, most of your characters would have less than a 50% win rate. So you'd send them in and you'd have to pull them out before they died most of the time. So you just lose money. But my opinion is that in this game, that's not the case. You should make a ton of money if you wanted. So I'm just gonna get Fergus 1 level up here. I'm not gonna do this for long. And if I do a lot of this, I think the strat will be in the future. We'll just cut this part out for the episode, so the future tubers won't have to watch us, you know, play around like this for too long. 1, 2, 3, 4. She can make it back. Also, this gives Nana a chance to get to C rank staves, which will get her a chance to actually physic, which is something valuable. +1 luck, not a great level up. Yeah, so let's do one more level, or one more round of this, and then I'll just go, we'll turn it into actual strat mode rather than just whatever we call this. 1 HP, 1 luck, pretty bad level. There surely will be times when we have to do strats like that, but try not to. See you later, Kaboom. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so let's heal him up, and we'll go send him north. The north ballista is certainly the easiest one to go pick off. So, if possible, we want to kill this guy in a single round. If I have any weapons strong enough. That's 13 plus 13. If they both hit, the odds of that are not amazing. I think he's only in range of one ballista there. And just the two guys with javelins, so it's... I'm not saying it's, like, super safe, but... we'll see how this works. Hey, gets the crit. Good job, Fergus. Okay. And then next turn, all you gotta do is get into the 2 range of the ballista and they can't hit you anyway. And then if I was gonna be offensive on the left side, like, boy, does Maka look good for just moving over here and killing stuff. I could just armor slay her way right through all that. Leaf has got 10 defense. I'm just gonna put him on the fort. And we're gonna, you gotta be really careful with people like Karen. There's always the possibility that she, like, it's a range 10 ballista, right? So if there's only one ballista, like, not covering each other, like, these guys are covering each other. But that means at max range, so like 11 squares from him, if I put Karen right here, she should be able to fly. If I move her up 1, then, oh no, so she needs 1 more movement. So the argument would be to give her a leg ring or promote her. Because if she had 9 movement or higher, she can start out of range and then fly inside the ballista's actual attack range so that she doesn't get killed. Would be really nice. that would be really good. But unfortunately with 8 movement, she can't do that, so... you need people who can take a hit. Oh, forgot the L. I think there'll be another ballista that'll try to shoot Maka though now that she's not in a fort. But shouldn't matter. Gotta remember the bolting though. Bolting is always a little dangerous. And for whatever reason, these guys don't move. So they're kind of easy to pick off, although this guy is in a fort. So specifically that guy is going to be a bit of a pain. Unless I flame sword him. Alright, this is our first attack on an actual ballista. Get rid of him. Delete. So, now that she's promoted, she is getting less experience, so... not that she's exactly stealing XP, but it's probably good to remember, you know, lower level characters like, say, Karen would get a lot more value for killing things or finishing them off. That's only 16 damage. I don't think he can one-round it, so maybe we try to kill the javelin guy first. Who we could one round. It was very satisfying. The crit animations are pretty awesome in Thracia. I like them. Especially Leaf. He's got some really nice stuff. Alright, Fergus. Good stuff. Once he kills this guy, and we could send him some assistance, really. It's not like no one can go up there to help. They just need to be able to take out ballista. Finn doesn't really have a ton of defense, but I'll send him up there just to save us a turn, maybe. This one's out of the way, so there's less overlap. Karen could drop someone over here to start working on the south route. And I should think, like, is there anyone I want to capture again? We might want to capture another Thunder Tome, maybe. Normally I would think Asbel, but there's too much ballistic cover. So we still need someone light enough to drop and sturdy enough to clear it out. Ocean's too heavy. Asvel's too frail. Tanya's too frail. Shiva, actually not very tanky, so not really good. Not really any good options yet, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Honestly, these ballista maps, they seem like they're designed to rack up the turn counter. Alright, Finn might get a little damage. 13. Archers can't use them, yeah. It's pretty broken. If you've ever played Shadow Dragon, the remake on DS, you can just have straight up ballisticians on your team. They're pretty busted. Alright, 59% is pretty bad. Let's get a little bit more accurate weapon here, maybe. Rapier's not. This guy, is he like on a mountain, I guess? Like, he's got a lot of defense. I guess we'll go with 69, because, you know, might as well. How do you miss? It's just a pile of wood, you punk. That's why we're sending Finn. Come on, Finn. I don't want to use your Brave Lance here, but how are you doing? 6 damage times 2. Wait, we can do it again. No, I don't have anyone with... Yeah, 59. No, we don't have... I need a 115 accuracy. Well, you could. Technically, we could go for more 69s, but they already failed me today, so I guess we'll go for just the Iron Lance. Come on, Finn. Well, 1 for 4. Not great. This guy's got 30% Mountain Avoid. That's kind of brutal. Avoid bonus for a ballistician. Like, how do these guys dodge? They can't even move. I guess what I'll do... I'm just gonna send Mach up to deal with the stuff on the north. Once she's dealt with this ballistician... Oh, she can't actually get across there. Well, she's got the... No, actually, it's a bad idea. She doesn't have a scroll. Alright. Fail. Not a good strat. Maybe I should send Leaf down south? 10 defense. I need to clear out some... like, if I want to save some time, I gotta kill these things. I think we can lure these guys out. Leaf can probably handle it. I know I sent him down there and I rescued him out of the way, but trying to not let this episode grind to a complete halt. Yeah, I thought she had a scroll, but I forgot. Like, she's pretty tanky, but bolting is too scary. For now, she's just gonna lure out some ballista for a little bit. Or not. This guy is a little bit weaker, maybe? 20 damage? I don't know. Dumb. No, she's not in range of the bolting. You have to leave the mountain for her to hit her. She'd only be in, let's see, 83% hit rate. It's pretty accurate. The forest is 20. Actually, she'd be fine. Well, 1%. I could put her here and then kill this guy from the forest and she'd never be in much danger. Let's see what happens. But I don't actually think he can hit her. I mean, 1%, but 83 accuracy versus 112. I was looking at the wrong number. Whatever. It's a 8% hit rate. It's still tiny. There's no way. I was looking at her hit rate, not her avoid. Good old BlueAnkylo. paying attention. Alright. One of these days we'll connect. Alright, 1 connection from this out of 2 and we win. Come on, Fergus. Sure, showing off with a crit. Might as well. 6 XP. Man, ballistas aren't even worth it. They're worth more experience to just let them shoot you than to kill them. That's crazy. I guess next turn I'll show off the armory and vendor with Finn. But this clears up most of our movement. If I could possibly get Leaf to finish this guy off, that would help a bit. End turn here. And then next turn we'll drop off Leaf. He should be able to wipe this guy out pretty easy. We need to start thinking about what we want to do about the middle here. These guys won't move. Honestly, a Flame Sword Maka is probably like the easiest way to get this guy off. Maybe I'll let her... Maybe she's just covering all this chapter. Who knows? Start moving Nan up a little. Carry on. So what's the range here? Just so I'm smart. The range is just 2 tiles in front of Nana. So we've got a bit of room, finally. I remember deploying Brighton thinking I might need him to try to capture the Armor Knight, like with a Brave Axe. But in the end, a lot of these characters are probably not getting used at all. Like, this is a lot of characters for a chapter that's slow, but also really choke-pointed, so you can't use them all at the same time. So we definitely could have left some back to rest. The Flame Sword's good to tank range. Oh yeah, that's good. I could equip the Flame Sword, and she would take less damage. That's some high-level strat there. I'm believing in her evasion, but yeah, that's probably smart. Also, she can probably survive a crit from the bolting. At least one, anyway. HP, strength... Whatever, she's already capped the other stats, but some more strength is great. I should hold that button down. What do we want from Maka? She's just got to cap her strength. If she can get a few more points in defense, that's lovely, but... I should have looked at the stats, but... I'm pretty sure he would have had like an 8% hit rate, so should have been fine. And Bolting's only got 4 shots, so... Or 4 left after that, so... How much damage? So, 18 power, a crit would be 36. Well, she's got enough magic resistance to technically survive a crit. It's not ideal, for sure. Yeah, we'll kill this guy. And then I might equip the magic sword or the flame sword just so that she's a little bit survivable. She can draw out the last bolting, the last couple. If she gets hit by it, well, I guess worst case scenario, she gets hit by this guy and crit and she's dead. But like I said, low odds, pretty tiny. So, shopping! We have access to iron blades for, I think, the first time, but they're not very good. I don't like them very much. Way too heavy, not very accurate. I guess Maka can use them, but other than her, very few people have any use for that. Slim sword, also not particularly amazing. And then maybe, you know, more iron swords are nice, of course. Anyway, that's what's for sale, so maybe we can buy some swords. And then at the shop, heal staves for sale. I don't think we need those. Torches might be worth buying a couple if we're running low, and Thunder Tome's always good for Asbo to have backup, but they're very expensive. So let's just double check what we've got in the storage for that kind of stuff. We've got 2 Thunders basically stacked up. We've got 2 heal staves stacked up. Torches? We have 1 torch, so I might buy a couple torches here if I have some spare money, just to make my life easier on the Fog of War maps. What are we short on? Like, We are a bit short on swords. Lance is looking pretty good. Tons of bows. Got one iron. Wait, we're a little bit low on axes. Lots of magic. Okay. Alright, now if I move forward, we'll be in range of one of those. Oh, let's do the south route first. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, four steps, drop, and then 4 steps back. Should have made sure Leaf had the right weapon equipped again, but he's fine. Iron Sword should be enough to finish him off. A lot of my strategy was always to theoretically farm out some experience with the Paragon Sword. I haven't really, I wouldn't say I've committed to that by any stretch, but... You know, if you're playing along on super speed at home, might not be the worst idea to just get a couple level ups off the ballista, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. It's hard to say. I actually have a feeling this chapter's not all that difficult. It's mostly just if you want to get to the villages and get that flame sword, it's a really tough opening couple turns. And then after that, you know, dealing with a bolting. I guess it's kind of your introduction to long-range weapons. So this is like our first bolting tome. We've seen like meteors before, but bolting is kind of special. And first time with ballistas. I want to see the odds on the bolting, so I don't want to interrupt these. But it should be like 6-7%, right? Or 2%, yeah. I mean, she's pretty safe. I know it's Thracia, but, you know. I didn't see the crit rate on her. It would have been, I forgot to pay attention there. But it would be luck divided by 2 is crit avoid. So it should be a 15% crit. So a 2% chance to get hit, and then a 15% chance of that to get killed. And actually not even killed. She would only be... She'd survive with like 3 HP, technically. Chances of her dying, very, very slim. Possible, but difficult. Can we... Yeah. Karen can help, because she can Kanto after this, just like last turn. Hey, come on, Karen, let's see what you got. She's got a good scroll. HP, strength, magic, and luck. Hey, strength, totally worth it. Oh, bolting's in Fog of War. Ugh. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. But +1 strength, very, very good for Karen. She could also use defense and con, but strength is the best. So, good stuff, good stuff. I'll say thank you, Near Scroll. Thank you. Okay, let's move over. That'll be in range of some attacks. Yes. A couple javelins. How much do I trust Leaf? I'm gonna heal him. What I'll do is, you know, we just stole this flame sword, so we might as well give it a bit of a shot here. Saving the light brand for some reason, but... I mean, we could just let it break. Kega hates the player, yeah. Fog of War bolting doesn't... Oh, man. It's just not cool. Okay, you've got 3 shots left. Let's pull her this direction, and at least, yeah, technically that's the right decision, is to have that equipped so she takes less damage. That means a critical does 38 minus 8. It's even less risk of death. And I was kind of planning on, like, luring out some ballistas there, maybe. And then the rest of the squad is just kind of preparing themselves, let's say, for breaching this bridge. I realize these guys are probably never going to do anything. One of my goals here was to get Asbel to 20 and promote him, so maybe I could do that. because I'm greedy. I could also, like, I could throw a lot of people into the arena if I really wanted to. I'm gonna say Brighton's probably not doing anything. Forget about him. Dalson's gonna have a hard time catching up, but he would be pretty good on the bridge as well. He's a nice beefy boy. And then Ocean, I mean, he's pretty good. Let's not forget him. And then Tanya, I don't know what I'm doing with her. She needs to get C rank bows, then she can use the killer bow. That would, oh, B rank, never mind, not happening. Maybe I'll send a couple of these guys up to the arena, who knows. Also, hey there, Cryptic. The problem is, I guess if I want to do arenaing, I don't have my healer up here, so... Well, let's show off a little bit how they work. Boy, he doesn't even have a scroll. No, we're gonna wait. I will try to do a couple more arenas this map, but we need a scroll, or else I'm never gonna send it. I'm never gonna send someone in there with no crit protection. That just sounds dumb. We'll save that for once it's cleaned up some of the ballista a bit better. Unfortunately, doing the arena safely requires, like, having your support bonuses, your charms, your ballista, or your what am I saying, scrolls and stuff all sort of set up. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting potential. Okay, seriously, Leaf? What are you doing? 2 for 2, 34%. 3 for 3, 30%. I'm pretty sure Leaf is fine, but they didn't even want to attack him because he's got the flame sword, but dang, those ballistas are rude. Alright, 1%. I mean, bolting is still scary, but she's fine. So the north side's looking good. Oh, under attack.